Welcome to the future. PBS Digital.
Last time on Everyday Edisons, Rebecca's grading pen was branded EduGrader.
It's incredible. I had no idea how much was going to go into it.
Joe's cutting board was designed and prototyped.
Very impressed with the awesome design job and engineering work you've done.
And stroller moms Lynn and Karen tested out their test mule.
It's a little overwhelming.
Every great idea deserves a chance to change the way we live, the way we work, and the way we play. From thousands of ideas pitched at casting calls across the country, 7 were handpicked to be developed by a team of product development experts. Each idea will be designed, engineered, branded, and sent to store shelves. And each product's inventor will play a pivotal role in the evolution of their product. Millions could be made, obstacles overcome, dreams will come true on this season of Everyday Edisons. With work underway on all 7 new products, our inventors are really beginning to see their products come to life. But with each new phase comes new obstacles to overcome.
Inventors tend to fall in love with their own ideas, but sometimes you need to go outside and get additional feedback. With Jennifer's invention being a fitness product, we needed to get experts to appraise her idea and make sure that we were on the right track. In Brad and Melinda's situation, the experts are the parents who are going to purchase the product, but more importantly, the kids that will interact with it. It's the same deal with Chuck's product. We need to bring the kids in, have them interact with the product, and make sure that this product will actually hold their attention. So we've sent home the kids, and now with John's project, we've got to bring back our engineering team and see if we can keep this project rolling.
When our first inventor, popular TV news anchor Jennifer Holloway, saw the design of her stabilizing workout device for the first time, she was overwhelmed.
It's a concept that will change people's lives, and in fact, my life has been changed by it.
But when the first prototype was tested, exercise experts were a little underwhelmed.
If I could find one product that I could tell my clients to get in their home that was actually easy to store and didn't cost a whole lot of money, that'd be the dream product.
That was the hope for Jen's stabilizer when the team tested it with exercise physiologist Rose Miller.
I wouldn't endorse any type of, standing on top of the surface doing exercise. On this side I would. It'd be fine here.
But like most first tests of 4 models, it didn't quite turn out that way.
I think it could be. I'd like to see it revised with some of the things that you all talked about doing to it. I'd like to see it revised and give you some advice on how to use it.
Rose was very helpful. I mean, everything that she gave was for the better of the product. And she was able to help us eliminate some concepts that may have been a little bit too out there for the market. And then, of course, also bringing in feature sets that are really important to the final design.
Jen's original product, the stabilizer, from a commercialization standpoint, we were a little skeptical. I mean, it was just basically a stepper with a piece of foam on it. And when the designers and engineers took it and they told us what they could do with it, we began to realize that this thing really has some potential. So I think the best avenue now from a commercialization standpoint is probably knowing the exercise equipment in that arena is probably an infomercial of some sort, but we will see where it goes.
With a new and improved design rendered and ready to go, the engineering team began building stabilizer mule number 2. So with 2 4 models made, it's time to bring Jen in to test them for herself.
what we've come up with is something that you can interact with. Let's just look at what we have. What we have are actually two. It's like a double-decker. We've got two form models. This is the first generation.
I love it.
This was the first go at capturing the feature set that we were looking for.
Right.
From that, we learned and we came up with, with this one.
So did I see in the design one of the other concepts, like a softer surface here, like a more of a cushy surface instead of just hard?
I think as soon as it gets the squishy, any sort of squishy factor to it, that
Steps
we're
on somebody
infringing.
else's.
Yeah, we're infringing on someone else's territory.
I think that it's that reality finally come to life and something you put your hands on and grip.
Give it a shot.
In the few moments that I was on it is what I've been thinking would work all along, and so now I know it's true. I was on it for, let's say, 10 minutes. Well, you know what? My heart was racing.
The next step is to have 10 of these, 10 of a hybrid of this that we can then give to the gyms and gain their feedback.
Love it. Good job.
Cool.
Great job, actually. Great job.
Right on, thank you. Yeah, it's a work in progress, but that's where we are to date.
It did what I hoped it would do. Challenge you, challenge your body, challenge your muscles, and you get the most workout for the amount of time that you're on it. The fact that it can be revolutionary and the fact that maybe this will attract someone who wouldn't necessarily work out is very heartwarming to me.
So far with Brad and Melinda's Spill-Proof Bowl project, we've seen it get designed and prototyped.
I think it's a great design, and I think I would pick it up as a mom and want to use it. It's exactly what I was looking for 6 years ago.
So the new and improved Spill-Proof Bowl has pretty much been mother approved. It's now time to get kid tested.
Well, we're bringing the children in one by one of various ages. We wanted to see exactly how they would gravitate towards it. We wanted to see how they were going to pick it up and if actually the food would actually spill from the bowl. These are all questions and concerns that myself and the engineers had before we could even think about taking this product to market.
The very first part of the product he can touch is what he's going to grab. He's not going to consider how you might need to pick something up. So that's what he did. He just grabbed and sealed our mechanism, kept it from working, and now it's no better than any other bowl. It's good to get that input now. So, and we'll change the design because of it.
So it was back to the drawing board for the Shepherd Spill-Proof Bowl.
Right then and there, we had to just put a stop to it, have a huge meeting to kind of deliberate and get the design aesthetics and functionality back in the product.
While the redesign process kicks into full gear, the branding team is ready to do their thing.
When we get together for a branding session, a lot of times we'll have a couple hundred names, and generally there's one that stands above the crowd.
We had a couple that we liked a lot too. So we had Lupa, Lupa I'm not crazy about.
Sometimes we'll combine two words and come up with a new name. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
What if it's like Upsy Lupa or, Upsy something?
Sometimes we'll get stuck in a meeting and someone will say something funny and it just kind of breaks up the log jam and everything gets moving again.
The thing about a name like Lupa is we could put, 2 dots over that, and it could be
A Swedish toy.
Right.
Brand names are tough. Sometimes you hit them right off the bat, and other times it takes a while to gain acceptance.
It's engineered really cool. So I mean, so something like that would be an easy fix to take it into another direction. So I like it better now under that scenario.
At this point, we know that the bowl is gonna be shaped as a spaceship or planet. So we want to translate that into the brand. Developing maybe a character that's gonna have that sort of shape, that's gonna be colorful and fun.
Fast forward a few days and it's showtime for the branding team. Jason Gammon and Juan will do the honors.
Welcome guys, we're here to meet today just to talk about the development of where the spill-proof bowl has gone. You've seen the renderings of what it's gonna look like physically. Now we're gonna see what the name is and what the logo can be. We'll start out with Spinsy. As you turn it, it spins around, and it goes in all kinds of different directions. And it has a very kind of upbeat kind of cutesy feel to it. Another name we came up with was the Kiddo, really focusing on the person that's going to be using the bowl. Third one that we came up with is Rover, really going toward you know, the kind of the spaciness of the product. Looks almost like a little space rover. We've got a fourth name that we actually love, and we felt that it was the strongest out of the bunch. And there's a lot of potential in this name, and that name is Lupa.
Lupa, okay.
I think it's cool. I think it's really cool.
I think it fits well with the bowl.
We're focusing on making this a super fun experience for the kid. After all that thought process, Lupa evolves into Lupa.
It's unbelievable, really. I mean, I don't know. We're kind of in shock. Haven't seen the concept up to this point.
Collectively, our group of Everyday Edisons are a pretty resourceful bunch. Inventors typically are. But in going around the country interviewing Hall of Fame inventors and business leaders, we found that eager resourcefulness sometimes can get naive inventors in trouble.
While there are wonderful new ideas being developed by Americans every day, there are a number of invention scam companies, quite honestly, that try to take advantage of that earnestness and goodwill, that enthusiasm of the inventor. In fact, it's a $200 million a year business.
Biggest thing I can say to inventors is just be so careful. Don't think that anybody out there can fulfill your dreams just because you wrote a check, borrowed some money, heaven forbid, borrowed against your life insurance. They're not going to do it. They're just not going to do it, and you're going to be taken, and I'll tell you, these folks laugh all the way to the bank.
The crooks who steal from people, who take their money with late night radio and TV and turn around and take people's money, and they promise them hopes and deliver nothing. You know, one company I saw, 25,000 people came in, they got 3 things that they actually sold.
And while our next inventor never got taken by a late-night marketing company, he did co-invent one of the most famous games of all time, but he never saw any significant financial return.
I'm happy where I am. Sure, I wish the Lord's name I don't want money for money.
And when Chuck brought our team a new idea of his, we were pretty excited about working with him on it. Right off the bat, the team decided to turn his shredder idea into a homework-eating dog. The engineering team prototyped the shredder dog, and Chuck loved it.
This is what it is, basically. Ta-da! There we have our...
But overall, the team didn't think a really cool-looking hand-cranked homework-eating dog was enough. They thought maybe making a game out of it would be the way to go.
Peek at another player's puzzle.
Paul, you had the purple spider.
I would like a piece of which the main icon is more than 50% black.
Just like a 6-year-old would say.
Totally.
Stuck with which direction to go, Chuck was brought in to help out.
Chuck, the last time we met, we were in a brainstorming session, right? We had pulled out quite a few different ideas of the shredding mechanism and different types of play value. And then you shared with us the importance of character development in games.
Board games, I've never worked on a board game. To me, those are boring board games, unless you can get a lot of laughter into them and all that kind of stuff. It's not my bag.
We left that meeting kind of in the position of an idea of a mad scientist who creates a pet out of spare parts. And the pet is his dog. But you can imagine, the kids in this case are helping the inventor solve the sketches or elements or notes to a formula that the dog has eaten.
I think that no matter what they come out with, children will play it from a different version than what they're saying. This is a game. You cannot use this unless you play a game. I don't think that'll happen.
Okay. So what do you think? Are we going the right direction?
Well, my name's not God, but I like what I see. They're trying to make something happen that might not be there, but that only time will tell.
Struggling with gameplay, game experts were brought in to help determine which direction to go, if any.
I just wanted to see what the kids would gravitate toward, and it was somewhat of a desperate effort to try to see how we can make shredding paper fun.
Take one piece from the belly golf, number 1.
Oh, that'd be really cool if it had like a duck body. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, we struggled. We always have been struggling with the game, trying to figure out what it is, what aspects of the game make it fun or interesting for the kids, and that's since day one, that's been the challenge for us.
Just need a body and feet. I thought it was pretty fun. At the beginning it was slow and boring. A little bit more creature cards. Is there a chicken in there? Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, shredding and choosing them out. A gorilla. I like the dog, except I think it maybe could be a little bit better made.
It is funny, but at the same time, you want to know what you mean by better.
A little bit better made.
More lifelike, more, maybe that particular kid preferred like plush animals.
I think the dog could be made out of like more metal stuff.
Maybe less robotic. It's kind of a personal preference thing.
I like to sit and listen and watch their minds work and how they go back and forth. To me, that's playing. At least I do it. When I play. I don't take anything serious. It's just play through it, and when we have a good time, go. If we don't have a good time, toss it aside and get something fun to do.
That's what we've been struggling with, and that's really what embodies the whole concept. So somehow or another, we're tasked with making that a cool activity.
Our final inventor, JON DAVIS, basically asked us to reinvent the wheel. He envisioned a rim that oscillates in and out while you're driving down the road, impressing your friends, or turning heads. But our engineering team didn't think it was such a safe idea.
I cannot say that I fully understand all of the constraints on that wheel.
But the design team came up with a concept that just might do the trick. Now it's just a matter of making it.
There is room for error, and hopefully the thought is that we've hopefully anticipated every contingency, every misalignment, everything that could go wrong. We've covered our bases, hopefully, enough such that it does work and that we can fiddle with it a little bit and make it work.
This is one I can't wait to see if it works safely, because if it does, the aftermarket automotive industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and we'll have a lot of success with it.
After mounting the 4 model on a drill, it was time to see if everyone's hard work had paid off.
Wear your safety goggles and you'll be okay.
So here we're cruising, right? Going down the road, having a good old time. Get on the freeway.
It was totally cool to see it work. It was also a complete relief to see it work. You ready for this? You ready for this? Okay. I want to hear some wows. When it happened, go, ooh. I like that, Dahlquist. I like that. It's a mechanism. Sometimes things don't mesh up the way that you anticipate. Luckily, all of the prototypes or the proof of concepts that we did, they all worked incredibly well. They worked exactly how we thought they were going to.
Testing a prototype on a drill is one thing. Strapping it on a car, well, that's going to be fun to watch.
Last time you saw this was hooked up to this rig was hooked up to the end of a drill. There is always the opportunity to look like a chump, for sure. So we hooked it up to a coworker's car, and we're gonna see what happens, right? It is rigged, so we might wanna keep our distance just a little bit. Pump it a little on the RPMs. That's about the best we can hope for right there. It's done what we hoped it would do. It's retracted itself. Okay, mission accomplished. It worked. It worked famously. wasn't as spectacular, didn't have any fireworks or anything like that, but it did work.
So for a project that was pretty much dead in its tracks a few weeks ago, John's rim project has really picked up speed. Let's bring him in and show him what we've got.
These are two of the earliest concepts we came up with, and all they were meant to do was to explore the idea, just to see what a dynamic rim would look like while it's spinning. I'll try and get it up to speed. So they tend to retract themselves, and then if you come to a stop or slow down, these things will gradually protrude back out.
It was pretty exciting to see the working prototype. You know, it's like, you know, from idea to realization of the product.
Whoa. And then you slam on your brakes, and these things come out amazing.
I'd much rather see it on a 24-inch wheel working, but it was pretty intense to see the actual development coming to life.
So after seeing the prototype tested on a drill, the guys went outside to see it in action.
All right, so this is the mock-up that is one step closer to the real deal. Okay, the grand unveiling, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hey, it is a golf cart wheel.
It is. Pick it up a little more. Little more. There we go. There we go.
There it goes.
Feather it right there. That's cool. You can see it doing its thing. Yeah.
There you go.
So can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So yeah, now goose it. Yeah, see?
Yeah, that's
Is that
perfect.
cool?
Yeah, I like
so it does
comes
that thing. Yeah.
So just being a regular wheel.
Right.
You know, although it was a small scale product, it was still, you could still get the gist of how it's going to work and how it's going to look on a really, on a nice car and on a big rim and everything. I can totally visualize that now.
So far throughout the course of the season, we've seen multiple prototypes be made for each product, and we've gotten a lot of questions from inventors and from viewers as to why we do all that work.
We prototype for a number of different reasons. One, we do it because we want to prove the concept. Does this idea really work?
So what we're going to try and do now is get some sort of visual thing going on with these test rigs. That's pretty cool.
Sometimes our inventors understood and accepted early prototypes for what they were.
It did what I hoped it would do.
Wow, look at that. That is terrific.
Other times, our inventors didn't quite get it.
All right, so kind of crazy looking, I know, but
It's just what we were hoping for. I love it.
here's your finished product.
It was a little clunky and still rudimentary.
How do you feel? You want to take a moment?
He scares me. I think it's real kind of too much for my mind to grasp right now.
These are two of the earliest concepts we came up with, and all they were meant to do was to explore the idea.
I'd much rather see it on a 24-inch wheel.
I know that our inventors are anxious to see their final product, but it's a process, and we've got to learn from the prototypes that we create to make sure that the final product that we deliver is absolutely perfect.
The history of American innovation has taught us this very lesson time and time again.
Edison put the time in. He knew that a prototype, making a demo, was critical. And so when he would come up with an invention, he didn't just come up with a sketch on a napkin. He would turn around and prototype it. It doesn't have to be pretty, but you need to show me the effect.
If you're not figuring on 4 or 5 major failures as you go along, you're not figuring correctly. But you must overcome. And I live by a certain statement, which is, behold the turtle. He makes progress only when he sticks his neck out.
Getting to the final product requires a great deal of time and a lot of financial resources. But if we've done our job right, we've created a product that has great value and something that we're very proud of.
Developing a commercially viable product from the ground up is never easy. Developing a diverse group of products from the ground up has proven to be an unprecedented challenge for our team. Next time on Everyday Edisons, Lynn and Karen Stroller is designed and branded. Rebecca sees her new grading pen for the first time, and Joe learns what his cutting board will forever be known as. And on this and every episode, we conclude with a helpful invention lesson on Everyday Edisons.
You don't need a lawyer to go through the process and file a patent application, even though I would advise you to secure the services of a registered patent attorney or a registered patent agent. It's a very complex process, and unless you know the patent laws and unless you know the process and the procedures that are employed by the United States Patent and Trademark Office and the rules that control patent application filing and prosecution, you could wind up in serious trouble or possibly even losing your invention because you missed the time period that was set by the statute.
Do you have an invention idea that you would like to tell us about? Want to learn more about the product development process? Go behind the scenes and learn more about the inventors, their inventions, and the Everyday Edisons program by going online to pbs.org.
We are PBS.